that were exhibiting some of these amazing traits. So first off, what I'd love for you to do, Richard, is, what was the motivation and the inspiration? When I write a really good post, or when I think I write a really good post, I feel like, there was something that kind of was the spark or the catalyst. What prompted this post? What were you thinking in the moment?
Well, a couple of things, because if you go to Amazon.com right now and you type in books on leadership, obviously you get thousands upon thousands upon thousands of books, how to be a great leader, whatever. I like to look at things completely opposite, because if you type in the cost of leadership, it you probably your search engine will be reduced much more, because I think there's much more to a cost of leadership than there is to learning how to be a great leader. And then I think about it on the flip side of the coin, and it's just the way my brain is wired, the oxymoron of leadership. I was in a one-on-one with some of my team, and we were bantering around a couple of different problems and situations that we were trying, hurdles we were trying to overcome. And at the end of it, quite honestly, Carson, we came up with about three good solutions, or three positive different directions that we could go. And I remember I was coming up against a hard stop, and I was going to jump off the call. And I told my team, I said, listen, I'm good with all three of these solutions, but I trust all of you. I trust you all. So whatever works best out of these three, I trust you to come. You would have thought, the look on especially two of their faces was, nobody's ever said that to us from a leadership perspective. The words, I trust you. And so it just got me to thinking, what are some other phrases that are oxymoron to leadership that really will unlock our team, so they go, wow, we are more than just the foot soldiers carrying out the requests. We're human beings who bring something to the table. And for me, it just unlocked a whole, games, right? Kids play these games and it unlocks a different level. For me, it just unlocked a different level.
Powerful, man. I mean, I remember seeing the post, and it was a few weeks back, but some of the things that jumped out, and I always try to look inside, and I ask myself, like, what of these do I leverage today, and which could I do better at? So there was an image that you shared, and it was the 12 things that only strong leaders say. Number 1, what's your take? Number 2, I trust you. Number 3, I was wrong. Number 4, great work. Number 5, run with it. Number 6, how can I help? Number 7, you decide. 8, let's celebrate. 9, I've got your back. 10, thank you. 11, teach me. 12, we'll figure it out. And as I was looking through this, Richard, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, some of these I do today, right? Like, I do absolutely ask, like, people's take. I like surveying my people. I like staying at the pulse of what matters to them. They're the ones that are on the front lines. They're in the field. They have the best intel. And so that also begets that trust level. And when I read your post, I think about what are the things that get in our way sometimes as people leaders. And it can be ego. It can be imposter syndrome. It can be, if I don't have all the answers, wow, then I'm not a good manager. I'm not a good leader. So I might get replaced. It's that scarcity mindset. But the reality is, people don't need you to have all the answers, to have someone who puts them in a position to win, who trusts them. But also, I always like to tell people, like, you earned the right to be in the position that you're in and to make the decisions that you're making. I am always here to bounce ideas. I'll tell you my thoughts and I'll tell you my experiences, but the decision is yours. And I think that's the key. I can't help having this conversation, though, without also making the comparison to parenting, because it's very similar in that at the end of the day, you do everything you can to build this foundation, give them the tools, give them the resources to try to make great decisions, but they're going to make their decisions. And even when they mess up, you're still going to be there to support them. And that's what I think great leaders have to train themselves to be able to do.
You bring up our children. We just had this discussion this morning with my daughter. She got $450 that came into her checking account, and we asked her one of the questions that's on this list. So what's your solution with this $450? What are you wanting to do? And she thought through a couple of things, and her mother and I had a couple of suggestions to do with the $450. But ultimately, she's going to be 23 years old. She's a young, grown woman. So, hey, this is your dollars that are here. What's your solution that you're going to do? And lo and behold, she was going to keep $50 for crazy spending money and $400 to put away for gas for the next 2 semesters. And, she came to some right solutions, but we, brainstormed it. But ultimately, it was, what's your solution? And one of the things that I did with one of my team members, she came to me with a different situation that I needed to have a meeting with somebody above me. And I asked her, do you want to be involved in that meeting? And again, it was a light bulb moment, because she said, yeah, thank you for asking me that. Can I, first of all, she was like, I'm not sure if I want to be in that meeting, but thank you for asking me. Can I get back to you? I think I want to be involved in that meeting, but I want to have 2 or 3 bullet notes to have, because that's a high level meeting. So those kind of questions, and you have to, for me, this oxymoron of leadership, Carson, you have to be intentional about these questions to bring your team along, because those people get paid good money to be a part of your company and to do what they do. So actually treating them like human beings, and not just future leaders, but they're leading from the middle of the pack right now.
It's like you always say, we're not human doings. We're human beings.
Yes.
I love this, and you just made a comment too that I think is interesting, because I've worked in a lot of different work cultures before, and I think it's wonderful that my boss meets with all of my team members once a month, and I think it's important to have a culture where my team feels empowered to be able to reach out to my leadership. They typically will make sure that I'm aware of it. I think one thing, and I did a podcast with a gentleman a couple of years back who was a VP at Medtronic and a longtime sales leader, and he made the comment, like, one of his big priorities is never do everything you can to prevent me from being surprised. That's one of my asks. And so, I think as long as you're clear in those types of things, like, my team will usually tip me off that, like, hey, we need this approval on XYZ. And hey, if you want to take it straight to my boss, feel free to do that. I mean, I trust you to do that. I want you to have that level of relationship. I want my boss to see my team members leading and doing things that are, executive level readout. Because frankly, those are the types of things that help them get visibility, get promoted, get bigger bonuses. Because at the end of the year, I'm going to be advocating for these people on my team. And if they have more face time with the boss, guess what? It makes that story a lot easier. I feel like I get paid to evangelize for and be an advocate for my people, and to really draw out, like, what are their unique skills and superpowers that can elevate everybody around them? How can I narrate that story? I had a member of my team this past year that won Gold Club, one of our biggest awards in the company. And the competition is fierce, as you can imagine. I mean, it's the top 1% of the business wins. And a lot of it is being able to articulate that story, because hitting a number is one thing, but how you embody the culture and how you live those values. But one of the things that this person benefited from is they had a lot of really good face time that I wanted and encouraged them to have. They shared a lot of great best practices with the rest of the team. And so I think it's not only about, like, trusting them and asking these amazing questions, but it's putting them in these positions to win and to be an eagle and to soar, like spread their wings truly, so that they can not only reach their potential, but make everybody else around them better.